Madam Chairwoman, Ranking Member Cabot, and members of the committee. My name is Nelle Hotchkiss, and I am the Senior Vice President of Corporate Relations for the North Carolina Electric Membership Corporation. Our membership consists of 26 electric cooperatives serving over 2.5 million consumers in 93 of the 100 counties in North Carolina. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today about the issue of rail transportation and the importance of adequate rail competition in my state and across this nation. As member-owned, not-for-profit organizations, the obligation of rural electric cooperatives is to provide a reliable supply of electricity to all consumers in our service areas at affordable rates. We take our obligation to serve very seriously. The personal and economic health of our members, our communities, and our nation depends on it. Electric cooperatives are dependent on the railroads for transportation and delivery of coal. Simply put, we do not believe that the America's 4 major railroads are meeting our transportation needs in the most efficient and dependable manner. Electric cooperatives and other rail customers do not receive reliable rail service at reasonable rates. The Surface Transportation Board, or STB, the government agency charged with regulatory responsibility for the nation's railroads, is not addressing crucial rail customer rate and service problems. Some utilities are forced to buy more expensive foreign coal because they can't rely on railroad deliveries from the Powder River Basin, the richest source of low-sulfur coal in the world. Electric cooperative consumers in North Carolina and around the country have experienced deteriorating rail service and sharply increased rates. For example, from 2002 to 2007, North Carolina's electric cooperatives experienced a 45% increase in the coal freight component of our energy costs, which in turn was reflected in the wholesale rate of power. That increase calculates to over $8.7 million in higher costs during this time frame that have been borne by our end customers, residents, small farmers, and small businesses. Service problems and high rail costs occur primarily in areas where shippers are captive, meaning they have no transportation option but to use a single railroad. Captive rail customers are shippers who must rely on those single railroads to deliver their products. These customers usually move bulk commodities such as coal, grain, or lumber, or certain materials that due to size or characteristics cannot be moved on our nation's highways. Historically, 20 to 30% of the nation's rail movements have been captive, with many of these movements covering rural America. Today, in a capacity-constrained rail system, a majority of rail movements may lack competition. The nation's antitrust laws are meant to protect consumers and the overall public interest from anti-competitive behavior by businesses. The railroads are exempt from antitrust laws and do not play by the same rules. The railroads' antitrust exemptions are antiquated, have no public policy justification, and allow anti-competitive conduct. The resulting lack of competition together with ineffectiveness of the STB have allowed freight railroads to reap huge profits with no market consequences or legal accountability for their unreliable service or exorbitant rates and fees. There are solutions, however. The railroads must be covered by the nation's antitrust laws, just like other industries. And the STB must be more responsive to the public interest and concerns of rail customers. Legislative activity in the 110th Congress has moved to give America the railroad system it needs for the 21st century and to correct current railroad abuses. Madam Chairwoman, thank you for conducting today's hearing. We look forward to working with this committee and all other stakeholders involved to resolve these critical rail issues in an objective and constructive manner, and I'd be happy to take questions.